Well, teamwork makes the dream work, bro. And you guys are representative of that. You know, it's awesome to see because it's when money comes in, people act funny, and it's dope to see you guys rocking together still. So
yeah, that's why you got to keep your circle close, because like that money really changes people, like for real. Like it does. Like people you grew up with can switch up over some money.
Easy.
So imagine how a stranger's gonna switch up over money.
To say there is division throughout the cannabis industry would be somewhat of an understatement. The newly emerging legal industry is absolutely one of the most cutthroat and competitive markets in the world, with so many different characters, money interests entering into it. While yes, there's big corporations that would prefer to do everything on their own, we see special cases where growers, breeders, and brands from within the culture come together to create something great. Welcome to this quick pack high design episode where we'll be telling a little bit of the story, but mainly analyzing the trifecta, the collaboration, the partnership between Deep East, Wizard Trees, and Doja Pack, and them teaming up to then launch the RS11 and Zoap strains, which have now become world famous. And this is a showcase to the industry what can happen when you join forces with the right people, and how in many ways this could be a powerful strategy for survival in this ever-changing new industry where now we have billion-dollar corporations entering into. This is LMC. Please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share, and follow me on all the socials. The links will be down below in the description. Also, special thanks to the homies over at the First Smoke of the Day podcast for the amazing work they have been doing and for also letting me use their podcasts in my high design quick pack series. Definitely make sure to go subscribe to their YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link down below in the description. Definitely go check them out. Anyways, welcome to this high design QP. Before we get into the video, I want to let you know if you'd like to support my work, you can actually go to lmc.news/lmc-apparel, and you can actually go purchase some high design fits, some high design apparel. Or if you want, you can contribute via the super thanks heart icon, which is down below this video. I also have my CashApp, so that'll be down below in the description. These are some of the different ways you can help support the content. I appreciate all the support. Anyways, let's begin.
So because like a lot of people will be like, yeah, but then how does like what you guys have built is such a huge thing right now? How does that come about? Because like you got this strain, you got RS11, you got Zoap going. Where does it come that like Wizard Trees and now you got Doja, you know, and your whole crew? It's this massive collab that is so successful, bro. How do you even put that together? How does that work out?
Bro, you don't like put it together intentionally. It's just kind of an organic thing that just pops up.
Maybe even take a little less time for Wizard Trees and these other things. What made you be able to think on that higher level, and him maybe be able to think on that higher level of like,
so it's kind of the combo of like breeder and grower, like the way Dio says it is Shaq and Kobe type.
100%.
I like that.
For real.
Yeah.
Like I've been friends with Wizard Trees for a while, so that just made sense. And you know, he had like a lot more production than I did. So it was just like, I'm gonna focus more on the breeding selections. And then he was just really focused on, you know, more on the production side. Cause like, he's one of the best, you know, like large scale cultivators out, Wizard Trees for sure.
Agreed. Straight up. Yeah.
Like,
Shout out to Wizard.
He'll scale up, bro, but like the quality is still like his number one, you know, one concern for sure.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah. Most of the people that once you get over like a couple hundred lights, they just don't give a fuck. They just try to pump anything out. But like,
Starting in 2017, the development cycles of the RS11 strain would begin. Now, for folks that aren't aware of what RS11 stands for, well, it's Rainbow Sherbet number 11. It's a cross between OZK Guava and Sunset Sherbet. In October of 2018, the first batch of the RS11 would come into the tester lineup. So the RS11 strain was bred by Deep East, and the strain would be grown solely by Wizard Trees, and the RS11 flower would be distributed via Zoap. So now we can understand the roles in which each company played. Deep East, otherwise known as Dio, the individual, specifically just focused on breeding the best genetics. Wizard Trees focuses specifically on how to grow Deep East genetics, and probably other people's genetics, but Deep East genetics at scale while still keeping that consistent high quality. And Zoap, well, they focus on building relationships with retailers in California, and I'm sure a number of other things, right? Maintaining the shelf space. Now, allowing for each person and their company to hyper-focus and perfect their one sector of the business, well, this is a recipe that, eventually led them to the RS11 strain really blowing up in popularity in 2020. And by 2021, the RS11 strain had become world famous. Now, just like Pat Gods said in their podcast, having a hot strain you created is like having, a hit song that you created. Now, when you have a hit song, you're going to want to implement strategies to prolong the popularity of that song, because there is a varying time limit for how long that song will be popular. And the same goes for cannabis genetics, cannabis strains. While for a hit song, record labels will have the song playing everywhere and being played on the radio like 100 times a day, because the music industry, well, they're all about programming people, like brainwashing you to like songs. Well, that's separate from what we're talking about here when it comes to cannabis. So when it comes to prolonging the popularity of a hit strain, it's actually more so the opposite. You actually want to be able to control the supply of the strain. And that's what Deep East, Wizard Trees, and Zoap have done. So Dio, the head of Deep East, talked about this in the First Smoke of the Day podcast, that he only allows for Wizard Trees to be the only one that grows his, genetics. The strategy of exclusively working with one trusted grower and that of Wizard Trees serves as a control mechanism, because if they were to sell seeds of the RS11 strain or give cuts out to other growers to run it, that would absolutely speed up the decline in popularity of it.
So like, in my opinion, it'd be better just to stick with one grower instead of just like, branching out and giving the cut to like 5 different growers and just to try to get your volume up. Because that's a good way to make strains die, bro. Like, if, like, people got to be happy with you, with what you sell them. So it's just like, once the, customer and your followers become unhappy, it's just like, you're doing something wrong. And if you don't address it and fix it pretty quickly, like, it'll die out.
A lot of people don't know that that's how
and
a
it's
lot
your
of these
fault
brands,
that it dies out, bro. Like, honestly, like, you're not being consistent. You're not giving them, what you're showcasing. So you can't market it as one thing and then, like, every second, third run, it comes out mids. Like, the people that support you are going to feel played. Like, damn, I'm spending all this money for this. And like, Instagram now, if you get like they buy a shitty fucking eighth, bro, they're going to post a picture of it, put it on Instagram and flame you. Like, yeah.
50 pounds of fire, 1/8 of bad shit, yeah, and it'll stand out.
Yeah, like if you sell like a eighth of smalls, like that shit's going on Instagram and like they're gonna come for your life.
It's supply and demand. Limiting supply, or more so limiting access, will sustain the exclusivity and therefore the value of the strain. And like Dio just said in that clip right before this, if there's bad batches of strains, it can really do a lot of damage to the name and the perception. So by giving it out to a bunch of different growers, you're going to inherently almost guarantee that, or the chances of bad batches happening with your genetics is much higher. The trifecta of the 3 companies, and that of Deep East, Wizard Trees, and Zoap, have been extremely effective in controlling and benefiting from that control of the RS11 strain. Now, like I said, there's always a limited amount of time where a cannabis strain will be that popular. Eventually, that popular will start to wane. Now, on April 9th, 2022 of this year, with help of Seed Junkie supplying the labs to set this sale up, Doja Pack, Wizard Trees, and Deep East would actually sell 1,400 cuts of the RS11 strain for the very first time.
Welcome to Seed Junkie House.
Dark, are you fucking listening?
Deep East, Wizard Trees, Doja, they did this. We're helping because we got the nursery. You know, and that's what this is. This is us helping, doing our contribution to help further the existence of this plant by putting out genetics that we've done well with, that you guys can take them all over the world and crush them.
So we have a PCR machine in-house, and we're able to test for viroids, pathogens. At a nursery, you know, we're responsible for the starting stock for all these farms and brands, so we take it seriously.
At least we have documentation of what our SOPs are and how we're taking care of the plants.
A lot of times when people are asking me, can I verify? It's like, no, I can't, but we can verify these because these are going to be 100% clean. 1,400 clones ready to drop on April 9th, so 9 a.m. Make sure you're there. There's going to be a line for sure, but it's going to be worth waiting on.
You know what you got people would jog to California for? The RS11 and the original and the Zoap, the original drop. I mean,
Have you ever thought about doing a little seed drop?
exactly.
No.
What about
seed drops? He's like, man, we just did the clone
Why
drop.
not?
Look at
Most-
seed drop.
This is the thing though. Most
Negative.
breeders or most growers would say, I need to remake the RS11 and remake the Zoap, and then I'm going to go ahead and release them so that people can chase their own Zoap and RS11 phenos, and I'm going to make a couple $1 million in the meantime.
Yeah, I just don't.
That's
I'm
not-
just doing everything in house. Like I breed everything in house. I select everything in house. Do my own designs. Do my own packaging. Like I just do all that in house.
You've been
That's
like
what
that from
separates
rip.
me from everyone else. Is like everyone else that was doing breeding work released their gear, and like I was one of the only ones that just kept it in house. Like I don't think I know anyone else that kept all their seeds in house.
I'm sure they made a ridiculous amount of money on it. And I think the timing of it was really, really smart and obviously well planned out. While RS11 is still an extremely sought after strain, the popularity of it was starting to waver. And as time would go by, the demand and therefore the price of the RS11 cuts would start to decrease. So, like I said earlier, I think that they had perfect timing when it came to finally selling these RS11 cuts to other growers in the community, right? Those 1,400. But don't worry, while the RS11 has had a solid 2 to 3 year run in popularity and, exclusivity that's controlled by this trifecta until recently, well, they have another hit strain that's waiting on deck, and that's being the Zoap strain. So I hope that makes sense, right? Anyways, in conclusion, right, the Deep East, Wizard Trees, and Doja Pack, the collaboration / partnership that they've done now for the last number of years has been really effective and has been effective in popularizing strains. And then their ability to control the access and supply to that, it has allowed them them to really be able to benefit and, profit from this. I mean, the RS11 strain and the, Zoap strain have really made all three of these different companies and people extremely famous in the cannabis industry. And that success that made them famous, right? That really comes from their collaboration, their willingness to work as a team. It's really quite brilliant. While it's important and fascinating to analyze the strategies utilized by their collaborative trifecta in accomplishing the popularization of 2+ strains, I think there's a more important, broader takeaway to be had that there is a lot of power in collaborating, in working as a team, as long as they're with the right partners, the right people to collaborate with.
the real cannabis community to survive, like we got to see more collaboration. I've been telling people, yo, you got to collaborate to the top.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're going to get there. Even as one little small solid group, that's still not enough.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of collaborate your way to the top with other small, or not small, but other groups, right?
It's a catapult. You're catapulting each other. I mean, you get into with each other and you're working collabs and you're doing things that, bring different attention to different people. And like one of the big things that Pat God's always talks about stuff is it's very organic. Things are like they happen organically, and like those are where the true collabs and like the true spirit of this comes from. And you always been a big teamwork guy.
Absolutely, man.
I mean, because that's what you're basically. I mean, you decided to focus on team dream. Let's all put each other on. Let's all back each other up, and let's make it together. Versus like, I need to do this, and where's my next opportunity? Wizard trees. I mean, making it together is better. It's funner, and when you cross the finish line, I mean, what are you gonna tag your own hand? It's better together, man, and
especially in cannabis too.
While I know there are many people out there that believe they have to do everything on their own, the honest truth is that there is so much power in operating with a trusted team or a network of partners. I think in general, cannabis brands, cannabis media, and cannabis cultivators all can massively benefit from collaborating and combining resources to accomplish like-minded goals together. And this will continue to become more and more important as the tidal wave of corporate money and control is starting to loom over our heads.
How does it change? How does the state open it up for legacy guys like you to be able to, and all these other guys to be able to expand in other ways, right? Besides just...
I hate to say it, but the way that the laws were written kind of seems like it almost intentionally paved the way for these corporate guys to just take over the industry, and it just... The barriers to entry are purposely high for, people that have been doing this their whole life. So it's kind of like, bro, the laws were damn near written for like these big corporate dudes.
Agreed.
So I think probably they have to rewrite the laws if they want to do what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, and Cali's one of the lowest. You look at some of these states like Florida.
And even Nevada.
Yeah. Millions of dollars, and you got to be somebody and know somebody, or
have like $5 million verifiable fucking money sitting in the bank, like
liquid.
Yeah, liquid. Like
just sit. They want to know it's just there, just in case, so they can take it. If God
who
forbid,
has that kind of money sitting in the bank? Real estate guys.
Big shouts out to Deep East, Wizard Trees, and Doja Pack. The future is definitely looking very bright for them. Please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share, and follow me on all the socials. Links down below in the description. Also, special thank you to the homies over at the First Smoke of the Day podcast for the amazing work that they've been doing. They really have been opening up so many different doors into aspects of cannabis, and I gotta commend them for that. So big shouts to them. Make sure you go and subscribe to their podcast. Anyways, guys, this is a High Design Quick Pack. This is your boy LNC signing out.